The moment Dr. Sarah Chun stepped into her patient's bathroom during a routine home health visit, she felt it instantly. Something was wrong. It wasn't just the smell, though, that hit her like a wall. It was the air itself. Thick, damp, slightly sour, the kind of odor that doesn't float away after a shower, but clings to towels, bath mats, clothing, even skin. The kind of smell that tells a trained physician that bacteria are thriving somewhere they shouldn't. Her patient, Linda, was 73 years old. Well-spoken, immaculately dressed. Hair neatly styled. Not a woman who neglected herself. By every visible standard, she looked healthy. Yet, within minutes, Dr. Chun realized something unsettling. Linda was unknowingly creating the perfect environment for odor bacteria every single day through a series of common bathroom habits she believed were helping her stay clean. And Linda wasn't alone. According to emerging dermatology and geriatric hygiene research, more than 82% of women over the age of 60 experience a noticeable change in their personal scent after menopause. Not occasionally, consistently. And most of them never understand why. This has nothing to do with laziness, nothing to do with poor hygiene, and absolutely nothing to do with getting old. It's chemistry, Dr. Chun explains. Most older women don't smell because they're dirty. They smell because their skin. Protective systems are being quietly dismantled day after day by the very habits they believe are keeping them clean. After menopause, estrogen levels drop sharply. That single hormonal shift alters skin thickness, oil production, moisture retention, and most critically the skin's natural pH. When that balance is disrupted, odor-producing bacteria gained the upper hand. And here's the uncomfortable truth doctors don't say out loud often enough. You cannot scrub your way out of a bacterial imbalance. In fact, many of the most common bathroom routines practiced by senior women actually make the problem worse, dramatically worse. In this video, doctors reveal 6 everyday bathroom habits that silently strip away your body's natural defenses, allowing odor-causing bacteria to multiply no matter how often you bathe or what perfume you wear. And stay with us, because number 2 is considered the most dangerous of all. Harvard-affiliated researchers recently confirmed that one simple daily mistake can alter your skin's ZOC natural pH in just 3 days, trapping odor so deeply that no soap, wipe, or fragrance can fully remove it. We've linked the full list of medical references and studies in the description below for those who want to explore the science for themselves. Before we dive in, let me ask you something real quick. Where are you watching from today? We're personally reading and replying to every single comment this week, so don't be shy. Now, let us begin with number 6, a habit so common that almost every senior woman does it without a second thought. Yet, it slowly changes how her body smells from morning until night. Number 6, reusing washcloths and towels too long. The washcloth hanging on your towel bar right now may look harmless, clean, even, soft, familiar. But according to recent hygiene studies, it may be holding more bacteria than your toilet seat. In a University of Michigan hygiene study focused on adults over 60, researchers discovered that the average senior woman uses the same washcloth for 3 to 7 consecutive days before replacing it. Dr. Jennifer Martinez, a geriatric dermatologist involved in the research, explains why this becomes a serious problem with age. As we get older, she says, our skin sheds cells faster while producing significantly less natural oil. Those shed skin cells become food, and the warm, moist fabric of a used washcloth becomes the perfect feeding ground. Each time you use that same cloth, you're not just reapplying yesterday's bacteria to your skin, you're amplifying it. Researchers call this effect a bacterial multiplication chamber. Under warm, damp conditions, many bacteria double every 20 minutes. That means by day 3, a single square inch of fabric can contain over 17 million bacteria. For senior women, the situation becomes even more severe. Age-related changes in skin pH make it easier for specific odor-producing bacteria such as Corynebacterium and Staphylococcus epidermidis to survive, cling, and spread. These bacteria release volatile organic compounds responsible for that musty sour scent so often and so wrongly attributed to aging. It isn't age. It's overgrowth. The solution, according to geriatric hygiene specialists, is something called a daily rotation system. That means a fresh washcloth every single day, towels used no more than 3 times, thorough drying between uses. Washcloths should be laundered in water at least 140 degrees Fahrenheit, with a cup of white vinegar added to the wash, shown in lab testing, to eliminate 99.9% of odor-causing bacteria. Equally important is how towels are dried. Bacteria cannot multiply on fabric that is truly dry. Hanging towels fully spread out on a bar, not bunched on a hook, dramatically reduces bacterial survival. Some women invest in antimicrobial washcloths designed for sensitive, aging skin. These can help, but they are not a replacement for daily changes. No antimicrobial treatment can fully stop the complex bacterial ecosystems that form in bathroom textiles. The bacteria living in your towels are a problem, but compared to what's caused by the next habit, they're minor. Before we move on, if this information has already been take a moment to like the video and subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Because number 5 involves a habit millions of women rely on every single day, one that feels clean, smells pleasant, and yet silently makes body odor far worse by destroying the skin. Natural bacterial defenses. Number 5. Using heavily scented products to mask natural odor. Walk down the personal care aisle of any pharmacy and you'll see the promise everywhere. Fresh, clean, lavender breeze, powder soft, soaps, body washes, deodorant powders, intimate sprays each. One designed to convince you that fragrance equals cleanliness. But according to research led by Dr. Robert Kim at Stanford Medical School, these products are doing the exact opposite for senior women. They aren't solving odor. They're amplifying it. Your skin is home to roughly 1,000 different species of bacteria, all living in a delicate balance known as the skin microbiome. Some bacteria protect you. Others create odor. What keeps them in check is equilibrium. When heavily scented products enter the picture, that balance collapses. Dr. Kim describes it bluntly. Artificial fragrance acts like a bacterial bomb. It wipes out beneficial bacteria first, leaving space for the most aggressive odor-producing species to dominate. Senior women are especially vulnerable because menopause already disrupts the microbiome. Estrogen decline reduces skin moisture and alters pH, weakening the natural defenses that once kept odor-causing bacteria under control. Add synthetic fragrance to that environment, and dermatologists referred to it as a double assault. Within hours, bacteria such as Brevibacterium, the same organism responsible for the smell of aged cheese, begin to multiply rapidly. These bacteria don't just survive fragrances, they feed on them. Laboratory testing revealed that chemicals like phthalates and synthetic musks actually act as growth stimulants, accelerating bacterial reproduction and increasing odor output. And here's the cruel irony. Fragrance doesn't remove odor. It only masks it temporarily. As the bacterial imbalance worsens, the underlying smell grows stronger. Women respond by applying more product, more soap, more spray, more powder, which feeds the bacteria even further. In controlled trials, women who continued using scented products experienced progressively worsening odor over time. Meanwhile, those who switched to fragrance-free pH-balanced cleansers saw dramatic improvement. Dr. Kim's team documented a 73% reduction in body odor within 2 weeks among women who eliminated fragranced products and allowed their natural microbiome to reap. The solution is deceptively simple. Choose products labeled fragrance-free pH-balanced for mature skin, microbiome friendly. Ingredients such as gentle lactic acid or mandelic acid support the skin's natural acid mantle without killing beneficial bacteria. Prebiotics like inulin or beta-glucan nourish protective organisms, helping them crowd out odor-causing species naturally. The key is restraint. No layering scents, no perfumed lotions, no body sprays meant to freshen up. Because when it comes to odor, less intervention creates better balance. Fragrance may create chaos on the skin's surface, but the next habit causes damage, much deeper damage that lingers for days. Number 4, sitting on the toilet too long. For many women, especially after retirement, the bathroom becomes a place to slow down. A few extra minutes, a phone scroll, a magazine, waiting for things to happen. But according to pelvic floor research from the Cleveland Clinic, this habit quietly creates one of the most dangerous odor-producing environments in the body. Dr. Amanda Foster, a urogynecologist specializing in senior women, explains what prolonged toilet sitting actually does. When you sit for 15 or 20 minutes, gravity pulls blood into the hemorrhoidal veins. Pressure builds in the pelvic floor muscles, which are already weakened by age, childbirth, and hormonal changes. This pressure doesn't just cause discomfort. It causes microscopic skin tears in the perineal area tears, invisible to the eye, but perfect for bacterial invasion. Bacteria such as Enterococcus and E. coli thrive in these damaged tissues, producing sharp, ammonia-like odors that standard bathing cannot remove. Straining makes the situation far worse. Constipation, which affects a majority of women, over 60, forces intestinal bacteria into areas they should never reach, including the urethral and vaginal openings. Medical professionals call this bacterial translocation, and it can persist 4 days after a single episode. In one study, women over 60 who spent more than 10 minutes per bathroom visit had 340% higher concentrations of odor-causing bacteria in the perineal region than those who limited toilet time to 5 minutes or less. The warm, moist environment created by prolonged sitting encourages biofilm formation, bacterial communities that adhere tightly to skin and resist normal washing. Once biofilms form, odor becomes stubborn, persistent, recurring. The solution begins with addressing constipation itself. Experts recommend 25 to 30 grams of fiber daily, adequate hydration throughout the day. Fiber sources such as psyllium husk, ground flaxseed, and cooked vegetables. Using a toilet stool to elevate the feet into a squatting position reduces straining by up to 65% and significantly shortens bathroom time. Probiotic supplements containing bifidobacterium and lactobacillus strains help regulate bowel movements naturally and reduce bacterial migration. But the most important rule is simple. Set a 5-minute timer. If nothing happens, stand up and try again later. Lingering creates tissue damage and bacterial growth that far outweighs any benefit of waiting. Prolonged sitting causes serious problems, but the next habit spreads bacteria even faster, and most women have been doing it the same way their entire lives without realizing it. Number 3, improper wiping and incomplete cleaning. According to a study published in the Journal of Geriatric Medicine, 78% of senior women are wiping in ways that actively spread bacteria rather than removing it. Dr. Lisa Chang, who led the research, found that reduced flexibility, arthritis, and vision changes often prevent thorough cleaning, even when women believe they're doing everything correctly. The most obvious mistake is wiping back to front. But even women who wipe front to back frequently miss critical areas due to limited range of motion. Using bacterial imaging, researchers discovered that toilet paper alone leaves behind nearly 30% of fecal bacteria even with proper technique. In women with mobility limitations, that number rises to over 50%. Those residual bacteria multiply rapidly in the warm, moist environment of underwear, producing sulfur compounds and ammonia that create persistent odor. Body changes with age also create hidden skin folds. Xeris researchers referred to as cryptic contamination zones where bacteria thrive undetected and unreachable through standard wiping. The solution is known as the Complete Clean Protocol. It starts with toilet paper for initial removal, followed by a moistened wipe designed for sensitive skin. No alcohol, no fragrance. The motion matters. Patting, not rubbing, reduces tissue irritation and prevents spreading bacteria. A final dry tissue ensures no moisture remains. For women with mobility issues, bidet attachments or long-handled wiping aids dramatically improve outcomes. Studies show bidet users have 75% less perineal bacteria than those using toilet paper alone. Fresh material must be used for every pass. No shortcuts, no reusing sections, because any residue left behind guarantees bacterial overgrowth. Improper wiping spreads bacteria externally, but the next habit turns clothing itself into a bacterial incubator. Number 2, wearing the same underwear too long or choosing the wrong materials. Dr. Patricia Williams' textile microbiology study at New York University revealed something startling. Within 4 hours of wear, senior women's underwear contains more than 10,000 bacteria per square centimeter. By the end of the day, that number exceeds 100 million organisms. DNA sequencing identified aggressive species, including Gardnerella prevotella, an anaerobic bacteria that produce the fishy, ammonia-like odors many women struggle to eliminate. The issue isn't just wearing underwear all day. It's wearing it too long, wearing it overnight, or re-wearing it because it looks clean. Bacteria are invisible. Age-related bladder leakage affecting over 67% of women over 60 creates moisture that accelerates bacterial growth exponentially. Synthetic fabrics like nylon and polyester trap heat and moisture, creating what microbiologists call an incubator effect, increasing bacterial populations by up to 500% compared to breathable fibers. Laundry habits worsen the problem. Cold water washing removes only about 60% of bacteria. Fabric softeners coat fibers with a waxy residue that traps odor permanently. Experts recommend a complete overhaul, 100% cotton or bamboo underwear, changing at least twice daily. Immediate changes after any leakage. Hot water washing at 140 degrees Fahrenheit. Enzyme-based detergent. Baking soda and vinegar for odor control. Most importantly, underwear should never be worn more than 12 hours continuously. Allowing the area to air out overnight reduces bacterial load by up to 80%. These underwear habits create serious odor problems, but none compared to the shocking damage caused by the number one habit, the one almost every senior woman believes is keeping her clean. 1. Overwashing and using harsh soaps on the genital area. This is the habit that shocks doctors the most, because it's the 194% of senior women believe protects them. Yet it causes the most severe, persistent, and difficult to reverse odor problems of all. Dr. Sandra Reynolds, whose research team at Mount Sinai Hospital spent years studying the intimate microbiome of postmenopausal women, discovered a finding so counterintuitive that many patients initially refused to believe it. Women over 60 who wash their genital area more than once daily with soap had up to 12 times more odor-producing bacteria than women who used plain water alone. 12 times more. The reason comes down to one fragile system most women were never taught about: the acid mantle. The external genital area and the vagina are protected by a naturally acidic environment with a pH between 3.8 and 4.5. This acidity is not accidental. It is a biological defense mechanism designed to keep harmful bacteria from gaining a foothold. Beneficial bacteria Lactobacillus species maintain this acidic environment and actively suppress odor-producing organisms. Soap destroys this system. Even mild soap. Antibacterial soap is even worse. When soap is applied, pH rapidly rises toward neutral or alkaline levels. In laboratory settings, researchers observed that within minutes, protective bacteria begin dying off, while anaerobic bacteria, ones responsible for sulfurous, ammonia-like odors, began multiplying unchecked. The Mount Sinai study used advanced microbiome sequencing to track what happens next. Within just 3 days of daily soap use, lactobacillus populations collapsed. Anaerobic bacteria surged. Odor-producing compounds increased exponentially. The dominant organisms shifted to bacteroids and Peptistrepticus bacteria, known for producing volatile sulfur compounds and the same chemical released during tissue decay. For senior women, the damage is magnified. Estrogen decline after menopause already reduces natural lactobacilli by as much as 90%. That means overwashing doesn't just weaken defenses, it eliminates the last line of protection entirely. The researchers made another disturbing discovery. Women who used feminine washes, douches, or intimate cleansers had bacterial counts up to 100 times higher than women who used plain warm water. And these bacteria weren't just sitting on the surface. They formed biofilm stents, bacterial communities embedded deep into tissue, resistant to soap, wipes, and even some medical treatments. Even more alarming was how bacteria responded to aggressive washing. Instead of retreating, many species entered a stress survival mode, increasing production of odorous compounds as a defensive strategy. In simple terms, the harder women tried to wash the smell away, the stronger the smell became. This creates a vicious cycle. Smitter wash more, worse imbalance, worse imbalance, stronger odor. Breaking that cycle requires doing something that feels uncomfortable at first, washing less. Every gynecologist and microbiome specialist involved in the study agreed on the same protocol. The external genital area should be rinsed once daily with warm water only, using the hand knot, a washcloth, sponge, or lube, which are too abrasive for aging tissue. If a cleanser must be used, it should meet all of the following criteria. pH between 4.0 and 4.5. No soap, no sulfates, no fragrance. Use no more than 3 times per week. External use. Only the vagina itself should never be washed internally. No douching. No soap. No feminine washes. It is self-cleaning by design. After rinsing, the area must be dried completely. Pat gently with a clean towel. Many specialists recommend using a hairdryer on a cool setting to eliminate residual moisture. Moisture combined with microbiome disruption creates the most dangerous environment of all. And once established, that environment becomes increasingly difficult to reverse the longer it persists. These 6 bathroom habits may seem small. Individually, each one appears harmless, even logical. But together, they form a perfect storm, one that strips away natural defenses, fuels bacterial overgrowth, and creates persistent odor that no perfume, powder, or soap can hide. The good news is that the body responds quickly when balance is restored. Studies show that when these habits are corrected, bacterial populations begin normalizing within days, with noticeable odor reduction occurring within 2 to 3 weeks. The key is understanding this one essential truth. It's not about being cleaner. It's about being balanced. Working with your body instead of against it is what restores comfort, confidence, and freshness at any age. And that's why the most important thing every senior woman needs to remember is that the goal is not to eliminate bacteria entirely, but to protect the beneficial ones that quietly defend her every single day. Because once those protective systems are allowed to recover, the body begins to correct itself in ways that most women never thought were possible. And that is exactly why the next step you take after watching this video matters more than you realize. Especially if you've been struggling with odor for months or even years. Because what you do in the next 24 hours determines whether the microbiome continues down the path of imbalance or finally begins the process of healing by. There is one message doctors want every senior woman to hear. It's this: persistent body odor is not a personal failure. It is not laziness, and it is not an inevitable part of aging. It is the result of disrupted balance. For decades, women have been taught that staying clean means washing more, scrubbing harder, and covering scents with fragrance. But modern research shows the opposite is true, especially after menopause. The body does not need to be sterilized. It needs to be supported. When towels are rotated properly, fragrances are removed, bathroom habits are adjusted, hygiene techniques are updated, underwear choices are corrected, and overwashing stops, the skin and intimate microbiome are given the chance to recover. And when they recover, odor fades naturally often, without any added products at all. This is why so many women feel relief for the first time in years once they make these changes. Not because they became cleaner, but because they finally stopped fighting their own biology. If you recognized yourself in any of these habits, that's not a reason for embarrassment. It's a sign that you now have information most women were never given. Start small. Change one habit at a time. Let your body rebalance. And remember, freshness is not something you force. It's something that returns when balance is restored. If this video helped you, subscribe for more science-based health guidance created specifically for senior women. And feel free to share this with someone who might need reassurance that they are not alone and that real solutions do exist. Thank you for watching.